So welcome to the Sunday night non-duality talk. Where to start? Yeah, so underneath there's some links that go straight to the pages. If you're interested in private sessions with me, you can go there. There's also a link to my book, which is also now on Kindle. And if you want to donate for these talks, which would be greatly appreciated, there's a link there. And thank you to those who have donated. I won't say your names, so for privacy reasons, but thank you so much, and it really helps me pay for the internet and electricity and all the things in my poverty-stricken life. Yeah, so hi Lee. Yeah, life's good in Spain. It's warm. So I'll start by making an introduction, and then you're free to ask questions in the live chat. And I don't do Skype calls anymore. I haven't done for a long time because I just really enjoy the flow of the questions. It's just such a good flow doing it that way. Excuse me. So, what's happening? Hi, Joe. What's happening? What's happening is there's somebody sat on a seat speaking, and there is listening happening, there's speaking happening, there's space happening, there's light from the computer, and also what's happening is looking for something to happen, is looking for a way to be free of this self that moves in time, seems to move in time, that is looking for freedom or enlightenment or whatever you want to call it. And that's also happening. And that one that is looking for that is not actually moving in time at all. That one that is looking is just an appearance that is no different from a glass of water or a hand. It's looking for it in the next sentence. It's looking for it in all kinds of ways, practices. It's looking for it by thinking that if I do this change, then I will be more open and receptive. If I get rid of some guilt or resentment or something like that, then I'll be more open to freedom. And all the time, it never actually sees that it is freedom appearing as seeking, that it is included. There is no seeker and freedom. They are both the same appearance. Hi, Diego from, how do you say that? Genoa? Sorry if I said that wrong. Hi, Tangerine Dance. And unbeknown to this contained, contracted sense of separation, it is the freedom appearing as separation. Unbeknown to it, what is happening, all that is happening is the freedom. What stops, not stops it, but what appears to happen is they're looking for it, and it's kind of overlooked in a way. And that can't be helped, because all that seeking energy can do is seek. Seeker, it says it in the word seeker. All that it can do is seek. Can't do anything else. It's illusory. The sense of self is illusory. It's like a fantasy world that isn't real, because that one that thinks it's going to find something and think it's going to come to an end, it's going to have completion, everything will be okay once I find this thing called enlightenment. That is an illusory construct that is just appearing. As in reality, there is no enlightenment. There is no freedom for anybody. It's not the seeker that becomes free. It is not the separate self that is somehow released and it becomes free and it knows freedom. That's not it. Freedom is everything, and that includes every single appearance, no matter how contracted or open or this or that or emotions or thoughts. That is all freedom. And it's an absolute mystery and it's an absolute miracle that it's even appearing at all. And it can't be known because it's just so boundless and so all-encompassing in this. Hi, Josie. It's so all-encompassing. It's just what is. It's just this. And this is so rich in its appearance. I mean, it's everything. I mean, how abundant can it be? And in this self thing that kind of feels like it's sitting inside here, that's looking for it. And it will never, ever find it because it is actually freedom appearing as looking. And what hears that and what registers the truth in that is not that one. It's just been registered. The mind registers all sorts of things. And it can register what is being said, but it's not for that sense of self, that registering. It's just registering. And that registering is no different from hearing sounds or tasting food or seeing anything. It's no different. Registering, hearing, seeing, cups, everything is it. So there's nothing that seeker can get from these talks, even though it will try to understand and it will feel like it's got a bit closer because somehow it's relaxed. There's nothing getting closer to what is because it is already here. It is already everything. You can't get closer to it. It's absolutely impossible. Isn't that amazing? The simplicity of it is so astounding, and when that's actually registered or seen or whatever you want to call it, and it's not seen by anything. I want to get that clear. It's not seen by anything. It's not known, but somehow when it's registered, it's just so obvious. It's so obvious that this seeker thing is not a person. It's not a real entity moving in time that has a life, needs to get rid of the life, needs to get the life better. All that is just a story that happens within that sense of separation. It's really fantastic, really beautiful. And it's just this. I mean, just this. Can you find this? You can't find it because you don't need to find it. It's already found. Not by anyone. It's just obviously just what's happening. And you can't find what's happening. You can't know what's happening because then that's what's happening. Knowing is just what's happening. As well as everything else happening. It's so immediate. It's so ungraspable. Tangerine dance. Your videos are really helping the personal energy fall away and realizing my true position. It feels as if I never left. Amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can hear what you're saying. I can hear what you're saying, yeah. Or see what you're saying, rather. But in a sense, there is no true position, but maybe that's what you mean. There is no... The position is everywhere, but it's no one's position. It's no one's wall or space or body or glass or... It says there is no position, but in a way that is the position. That is the case, in a sense. That is the case. Yeah, that personal energy, that personal sense can just fall away. But that it can't do it because it is illusory in its sense of its own power. Nothing's doing anything. Nothing's doing it. It's just all this, what is just happening on its own. There's nobody doing it. There's nobody doing the space. There's nobody doing the thoughts, the feelings. There's nobody even doing the me. I'm not even sure we call it the me, but it isn't me. It isn't. It's just an identification which is not true. And it's such a burden on the body and on the life, really. And yet, it is what is appearing. It's just immense, this aliveness that is just appearing without time. Without time. Yeah, Josie, nobody doing this. That's right. Nobody's doing it. This one that thinks it can do anything can't do anything. All it can do is make up stories and fret and seek and my life and my problems and my this and my that and my. It's always about me, which isn't a me at all. It's just an appearance. It's just an energetic appearance. But it's aliveness too. And there's nothing wrong with it, because there's nothing wrong with anything, because it's just being created from goodness knows what. That can't be known. That's a mystery. And it's phenomenal, really, phenomenal. Yeah, so please feel free to ask questions, which I love. And there's no such thing as a stupid question in this subject. You can call it a subject. Joe, there are no answers or conclusions. That's right. There's just this. There's just this. Here. Find anything else. All the finding just happens in the head. Joe, everything's never happened before. Hi, synchronizador. I'm actually getting a flow with that word now. Hi, what is unknown. Yeah. It doesn't need to be unknown. It doesn't need to be known. And why is that? Because it's already this. How would this need to be known? What would know it? What would know it? And if there was knowing happening, then that would still be this. It's in total freefall. And you can't, and if there is a sense of knowing something, which is, I don't know how that would happen, because this is impossible to know, it can be held on to. Nothing can be held on to. You know, the me with its practices and its rituals and its therapies, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with therapy, No, not saying that. But all it's seeking, it tries to hold on to the things it thinks it's getting. And then it's just impossible because life is too free. Life is always presenting new appearances. So, but without that structure of a me, which is such a simple thing, it's not anything complicated, it's not anything spiritual or enlightened or anything like that, which is such a simple thing. When that's not there, there's just simply life as it is. And that includes everything that happens. Jamil, yes, I can do stupid questions, can't I? No, no, not at all. Yeah, so it's just what is, and it's unknowable. And that one that tries to know it is an appearance. And it's not an illusion, it's just illusory. That's two very different things. It's illusory. It's not an illusion because it apparently appears. It does appear. You know, I remember it appearing here. But it's not what it thinks it is. Synchronize it all. What is what is happening, but that is not known. That's right, yeah. It's just what's happening. Why would it need to be known? Why do I need to know that I'm picking up a glass of water? It's happening. It's obvious, isn't it? I'm picking up a glass of water, now I'm putting it down. This sense of wanting to know it is the illusory construct of the self, wanting to know what that is and how it can find freedom in that. How I can find freedom in what is happening. But that is just seeking energy appearing within this. That's all that is. So it can't be known. There's just no wanting to know happening. Whatever is known is a story apparently happening. Yes, 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 exactly. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? Because this is whole, this whole life, this here, I can't say now because there's no now, this is a timeless realm, is something I forgot to say because I got distracted by the children. Tell you, I can't hold on to anything. It's impossible. Joe, thought comes after the event. Well, thought coming after the event is still this. It's all right, I can see through the typos. A thought coming after the event is not actually coming after the event, it's just what's happening. Synchronizador. Can one say that what is I? I wouldn't say that. I know it sounds like semantics, but I wouldn't say that because I is very personal. It's still personal. It's still a sense of me. I, me, self-awareness, consciousness, witnessing, all those words are still a sense of somebody looking. Even if it imagines itself from looking from the wall or something like that, it's still this sense of being something that is separate. I mean, you could call it I, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that's. I'd find that confusing if I use those words, actually. Hi, Mansour. Is it true that each of us are part and parcel of something holistic and so vast with no circumference, i.e., its center everywhere here? In a sense, yes, but we as separate, yes, in every sense, even as a sense of separate self, it's still the whole. It's still the whole. But we are now part of it. It is just whole. It is just whole. There's no we and it or I and it. It just is the whole. It is just the one thing. Synchronizador. What is not personal and hasn't a point of view, perspective. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's not personal at all. Personal is me, my person, my life, my journey, my finding, my losing, my getting, my wanting, my needing. Me on my path. Usually when it's in this kind of environment, you know, when people come to this, it's usually after a lot of seeking, and people seem to come to non-duality. Yeah, nothing is personal. Perspective is a story. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's just the story of perspective happening. It's so all-encompassing. It's so impossible to grasp anything. Is what is as a story. Yeah. It's a story about what is. And that is what is. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. That is everything. That is whole. I was about to say the word wholeness then. I stopped using that word because it makes it sound like some sort of one world thing. It's not. It's so freer than that. So freer. It's freer. It's just freedom. It's freer than any idea or any ideas of perspective or anything. It's just too immediate. Josie, it's amazing, yet I don't know what it is. Yeah, and you just can't know what it is. That's the amazing. It's just amazing. You can't really put that into words. It is amazing, yeah. The not knowing is amazing, and that's just what's happening. Not knowing, because there can be not knowing, and then there can be making tea. Hi, Ella. Synchronizador. Can one say I am that? Well, one can say that, but I'm just not comfortable with those words, because I am that. I would say there is only that. There is only this. And then there is I am, which is always the sense of separation. So in a sense that is included, but I wouldn't say I am the wholeness. There is only what is. There is only this aliveness. And it can't be put down to I or anything. It just can't be. It's just it's more simple and more free. Energy, says Joe. Yeah. Boundless thisness. And the me says, well, what can't just be this. Can't just be this. This is just this. I mean, I'm stuck in this. I'm stuck here. And that is this. That is it too. Yeah, you can't actually find anything. Because finding is just happening. Finding a glass of water is finding a glass of water. Finding a peaceful state of mind is finding a peaceful state of mind, but it doesn't mean anything. Like someone was asking me yesterday, and I'll change the details and everything because it's, you know, it's private and I don't like to say private conversations. But they were saying, well, if I get over this, what should I say? If I get over this resentment of my ex-husband, say, I feel like if I get over that, then there'll be this sort of more empty state in order to be free. That's not true. There's resentment. So what? So what? Doesn't matter. Synchronizador. Can one say that nothing ever happened? Yes and no. It appeared that way. It appeared to have happened, but that is still happening. That is still just what's happening. That is like impossible to describe. But I'm sure there must be a sense of that. Synchronizador. What about self-inquiry? There is no one to do it. It's just one happening. Yeah, self-inquiry is like, the word self-inquiry itself says everything, doesn't it? It's inquiring into the self. That is a sense of separation, inquiring into its own sense of separation. That is still just boundless appearance, appearing as that. But there is no key, there is no recipe for freedom, because freedom, you can't find it because it already is. Even self-inquiry, it can't be found, you see, because there's no movement in time actually. But what can seem to happen, there is always this possibility that it's just heard. And then there's the possibility of that whole illusion just boop, 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 falling away. And it would seem that it was never really anything. It was never anything. It wasn't really me. Yeah, there's no one to do it. That would just still be this sort of fantasy realm of doing self-inquiry. That I'm me and I'm going to inquire into who is this me. But it's the same one doing it, you see. It's like that's a hamster wheel. Chasing its own inquiry and chasing inquiry. It just doesn't go anywhere. Nothing's actually going anywhere. This is it. This is it. There's a second book about to be happening. And I'd like to call it This Is It, but I think it's already done. Mansour, is it right to say, oh sorry, I missed Synchronizador. That click happens to no one, right? Yes, it just clicks. Just clicks. Yeah. But it's not what that separate self thinks it is. It's not suddenly, it's not for it. That's why it's so crap for me. Mansour, is it right to say Nothing stands outside, and nothing comes before and after this oneness. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's only oneness. If you like to use that word. There is only oneness. Nothing can, there can't be anything else. There isn't anything else. Try and find it. Try and find outside of it. It's just an illusion, isn't it? It's illusory. It's illusory. Outside of this is illusory. Looking before what is this entire life. What comes before it? Well, looking for it is also it. It's DR. Hi, DR. Synchronizador. Can one say that the click is what is recognizing itself? No, it's not like that. It's just realizing that that seeker is illusory. That's all. That's all. There's no recognition of self. There's no recognition of anything. As mad as that sounds. It's just obvious that that seeker was not a person actually living in the body. It just wasn't true. It just wasn't really what it thought it was. It's that simple. There's not suddenly a recognition of wholeness or oneness. There is only wholeness or oneness. There's nothing recognizing it. There's nothing seeing it. There's nothing knowing it. It just is here. It just is. And also in what is recognizing or realizing, or whatever you want to call it, that that seeker was not true. It was just a story or an energy appearing, seemed to be appearing in the body very tightly, often really tightly. Joe. Eckhart Tolle used to say, what it is not. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can point to, you can say what it's not, but it's also, what it's not is also it too. But it can't be recognized from that perspective, because the sense of self is a perspective. When that's not there, there's no longer perspective. So what it is, it's just inclusive of everything. That's why the word non-duality is used, because it is just everything. And what is everything can't be spoken of. It can't be named. It can't be pointed to. It can't be described, because the description is it too. It's really hot here. Oof. 30 degrees or something. Synchronizador. The illusion of there being a person falls. Yes. That is known. Who knows that? Because to speak about it must be known. No, it doesn't have to be known to speak about it. It's the case. It's just the case. Knowing, having to know it is the illusion of the self needing to know what that is. It can't imagine not knowing. Like when you're speaking, right, really casually to a person, you know, you're talking about this and that, you don't know it. Knowing is a seeming separate thing that seems to happen after it. Like, oh, did I know what I'm saying? Or what, you know, and it's just casual, isn't it? It's just, Or when you're just walking down the road, you know, and it's just walking down the road is happening. Does that need to be known? Knowing is like the sense of self going, oh, I must know this. It's actually utterly superfluous to the action. The action is the action. It having to be known is coming from that sense of separation that can't imagine anything, that can't imagine not knowing. It can't imagine ever not knowing. It always has to know, or thinks it has to know. So speaking's happening, but to know what is being said would have to be kind of somehow, I can't even imagine now, but kind of, they have to, knowing, did we have to having to go to a sort of knowing? It's an afterthought, it's an after, not an after, but it's the sense of separation. It can only know separation. It can only know knowing. Speaking about it happens, yes, yes. The same as space happens, or breathing happens, or eating happens, anything. I mean, it's all the same thing. It doesn't need to be known. Nothing is right or wrong, says Joe. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I don't know about right and wrong. There's right and wrong is in the story. The reactions of the human to things, saying it's right or wrong. You know, and that's what the human does. You know, it reacts to things. Feels right, something's right. Feels something's wrong. You know, no different from a dog, really. You know, you shout at a dog, puts his ears back and skulks off, or bites you. There's no person in that. That's just immediate. Same as the human, but in the human there's a sense of separation that then judges it as this or that, or criticizes itself, judges, all that stuff. Synchronize the door. Even the fall of the illusion of being a person happens as a story. Yeah, it happens no different from water falling from the sky. It's just another happening. It's no biggie. And yet it's amazing. But then again, everything's amazing. It's all amazing. But the sense of self is looking for a big thing, you know, a big shiny thing to happen. And it will know it. I'll know it. I'll get it. I'll have it. I'll be able to rest at last. I'll be able to rest. The end has happened. Drinking coffee. Yeah. Yeah. The story of feeling like a separate person called Lisa is no more a distant memory than going to, I don't know, India or something. Like India is easy to remember. And feeling like a seeker. Fall of self. Yeah, drinking coffee, fall of self. Yeah, because the me, the sense of separation feels separate, obviously, and therefore somehow feels something's wrong. Just another apparent event. Yeah. Feels something's wrong. And it feels something's wrong all its life, you know, from when it happened. It gets worse and worse and worse, you know, in a sense, or even less. I mean, you know, there are stronger senses of separation. There are stronger reactions to it, in some more than others. So it feels something's wrong. So it's looking for a way back to paradise, or way back to feeling whole again. What's the way back to feeling whole again? Because everybody, it is just one, it is just whole. So something there kind of recognizes that. But that sense of self is not the one that recognizes it. There is no one recognizing it. It's just somehow, what's the word? It's the natural state. The sense of separation is not a natural state for the human, in a sense. I love contradicting it. It's not a natural state, and yet it is the natural state. I'm sure you understand what I mean. Synchronizing door. The question is already it. Yes. Yes. The question. The heat. Everything is like your name says. It's all completely synchronized as one. Bang, bang, just one. All together. Constantly. Without being constant. It's impossible to describe. And if anyone here suddenly finds it also impossible to describe, please let me know. So I can laugh about it, because it's ridiculous. It's amazing. I mean, this character, this human here, which is, you know, a woman of a certain age and all this and that, and all her habits and likes, dislikes, have nothing to do with this message. Nothing to do with it. This character has absolutely no idea what's going on. And I said to someone yesterday, I said, I don't even know if I'm sat on a planet. Totally clueless. Synchronizador. The sense of separation doesn't recognize the question as being already it, so it looks for it in the answer. Yes, exactly. I'm going to read that again because that's really good. The sense of separation doesn't recognize the question as being already it. Yeah, how can it? How can it? It's like it's locked into its world because it can't be any other way. It just can't be any other way. It's like a reality within a reality, even though it's the same reality, it's the same happening, but it's locked into this illusory, hermetically sealed fantasy realm, in a sense. So it looks for it in the answer. Yeah, it's always looking in its illusion of the next moment, or in the happening. It's looking for it. It can't help it. That's all it can do. GR. Things are happening. I put an intellectual interpretation on the events based on conditioning, but the awareness is first. We with our thinking come second, or an afterthought. Yes. Yes, well, I wouldn't even say that the awareness is first. I would just say that what is happening is everything is aliveness, everything that is happening. Even the intellectual interpretation of events. That, it's, you see, the awareness first. Awareness is just another happening. It isn't important. It isn't important, because there is no one thing that is more important than anything else. It's all just the one appearance. That's why it can't be seen. Yeah, and then the sense of self comes in the happening, judging it and making stories about it. But, you know. Synchronizador. Is there something that self can do to get rid of itself? No, because there's no next moment. Self can't get rid of self, because self is it's seeking to get rid of itself. So all it's happening is seeking happening. It can't get rid of itself. I'm trying to think of an analogy. It's like my hand trying to stop being a hand. All it can do is be a hand. Sense of separation, all it can do is be a sense of separation. That's all it can do. It's just a kind of a energetic appearance. And it can't do anything. All it can do is just be there. But then also there is a kind of a registering that is the case. And if there is then that can fall apart. But the registering is not done by that energetic sense of separation. It just happens. GR, things are just happening. Yeah, it's just happening. Synchronizador. So there is no prescription to the self. No, it'd just be another story, it'd just be another thing it thinks it's doing. It's just, just part of that story of self. And in a sense, it makes the seeking stronger, prescription. I'm not going to do that to you. Yeah. Then actually, in reality, giving a prescription and the self thinking, oh, here's a prescription, I can do something, is the same thing. What is spoken of here is just whole. Just whole. Thomas. Hi, Thomas. Nothing could happen in another way. Is that right? Yes. Yes, that's right. I know there is no happening, but whatever is, or whatever is apparently happening in the box of the story, but whatever is, or whatever is apparently happening in the box of the story, well, whatever is and whatever is happening is just what's happening. And if there's a story about that, then that's just whatever is happening. Nothing separate, not two. Synchronizador. The sense I am here, I am alive, is it already freedom? Yes, but not to it. Not to it. All it can do is seek. Because the sense I am here, I'm alive, that's what the separate self is. I am here and I'm alive and I'm real and I'm really here. And even if it kind of gets hold of that in a kind of a non-story way, it won't last. It lasts more than a day, I'd like to know. It just doesn't, because Lisa was a seeker. And, she would like, okay, so yeah, I'm here, just as me, just as unassociated sense of life, but it would never last. It was always, then it would seek again, because it would lose it. It'd lose it. Because life does stuff, Life will come in, A bill will come through the door that you can't afford. Oh shit. Oh, I've lost my sense of peaceful me. Just nothing works for it. Joe, it exists by not existing. GR, my interpretation was that was your foot. Was your foot. My foot. Oh, the hand! Well, let's call it a foot then. This thing. Yeah, because the word is not the thing, right? Yeah, but you know, we use language. That's how humans communicate, or one of the ways humans communicate. The main way, really. Lots of other ways of communication, but it's usually through words. The words themselves are meaningless. They're just labels. Josie, I hear that everything is just a big, great misunderstanding. Yeah, that sense of self, in a sense, is it's misunderstood. It's the sense of separation has happened, and it's misunderstood that contracted energy as being who I am. The play of duality, I mean. Yeah. Well, the play of duality can only happen for that sense of separation. Because it's me and it. Me and my thoughts, me and this person, me and the world, me and the news. It's the sense of self that is the misunderstanding. It's appeared and it's misunderstood that it's a person, that it's real, that it's life. That it's life separate from the rest of life. That's the misunderstanding. It's not. GR, we want to be here when we become enlightened. Yeah, we want to know it, right? Well, it's going to be very disappointing, but the me won't be disappointed because the me won't know it's disappointed. If it could know, which is impossible, it would be very disappointed and it'd be like, but where's all my shining lights and angels and trumpets and all that stuff? Joe, 93% of communication is non-verbal. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, but I don't know how to communicate 93% non-verbally on these talks. It's a talk. So, synchronize a door. Is liberation the end of the one that knows anything? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, knowing happens. You know, like there'll be a thought, where are my keys? And then the brain will go, well, I remember maybe putting them in the kitchen, that kind of knowing. Or like, I need to go and buy a new bed tomorrow. So like, I guess I could say, I know I need to buy a bed. But really, there's just the thought, I need to buy a bed. And there'll be the remembering in the morning, hopefully, that I'm going to meet a friend who's going to take me down to get the bed. But it is the end of one that needs to know what freedom is, or how to, yeah, for liberation particularly. It's the end of the one who would know that. Yeah. GR, the foot comment was in regards to individual interpretations, lol. All right. Yeah. Well, individual interpretations are just that. And they are just what happened. Like, it's just amazing. Individual interpretations, yeah. You don't need a self for that. They're just interpretations. See, the sense of self just claims everything. I'm interpreting. I like something. I don't like something. When actually when you see something that you think is beautiful, like a beautiful piece of art or a beautiful person or something, that response to that interpretation of beauty is immediate. It's before the sense of self comes in and wants to claim that I find it beautiful. It's just the response. It's very natural. Joe, the me is just a story. Well, I would say the me is just more like a contracted sense that I am separate. It's almost like emotional, energetic, and it's like it feels like I am me. It's like a sort of it's real to it. Feels real. You know, I remember when I was this kind of happening of feeling separate and then that going and then coming back, and there was no in between. It was just only one or the other. There was no in between. There was no closer or further away. It was just solidly, oh my God, where's it gone? Where's this gone? Where's it gone? I need to find it again. I've lost it. I've lost it. That was what was happening. And then that would just fall apart. And then it just wasn't there. It's just, oh wow, it's just this. It's just simply this, and it's gone. And then it would come back again. So in a sense, it's stories exist within that separate self. It makes up stories. It's a story of me, but really it's very emotional, psychological, energetic appearance. And it's just what's happening. Me is just what's happening. Okay, so I've got a few minutes left, so if anyone wants to ask anything before I go, now's the time. Hi, Thane. Isn't the me an inference based on identifying with emotions, thoughts related to the body-mind, seen as that? Where is the problem? Well, there is no problem. But no, the thoughts and emotions, yeah, it identifies with them. The separate sense of self is an identification. But the problem with this sense of self is that it's really uncomfortable. It is. It is. Identifying with every thought, every emotion. Well, there's no sense of self. There's just thoughts. There's just thoughts and feelings. They just happen. It's freedom. It's freedom. Well, I guess you could say in the story that the sense of self is a bloody problem. It's a problem because it's the basis of all problems. It's very sticky, just like, oof. You know? And then again, you know, if you feel like, well, it's not a problem for me, then it's not a problem. It doesn't really matter. What I'm talking about here is just this, just the obvious natural reality. Beautiful. Synchronizador. Everyone loves a good story. What can you tell about Lisa's story? Oh God. Think of something ridiculous. You mean Lisa's story just as a woman growing up, or a story about Lisa no longer being a person? Thomas, what is beyond me, feelings or emotions? What is beyond me, or expectations? Feelings or expectations? Thomas, and of course, is already. Is that right? Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I was just waiting for you to qualify that sentence. Yeah, everything's included. Everything is included, and of course, it's already. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Malware, says Joe. Yeah. CDD. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Sometimes I get fed up with my sense of self and just say, get out. Hasn't worked yet. No, because it's the same. It's the sense of self being fed up with itself. Yeah. Yeah. And it's possibly like when hearing these talks, whoever's speaking, saying the same thing in a way, there's two apparent realities apparently seemingly listening. One is the sense of self that's looking for something in what's being said, and it will get it. And the other thing is just listening, hearing it, and just registering it. Yeah. Both the same appearance, but different tastes. Yeah. And the sense of self, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, the sense of self is a flipping problem. It does get fed up. It does suffer. It is suffering. That's the only suffering. In the life of the human. I'm not talking about suffering in other ways, which I'm not going to go into. The self is suffering. Because before that self came into the body or appeared in the body, there was no suffering. There was just what was happening. There might have been pain, or there might have been, some discomfort, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sense of separation. That I am not whole. There's something wrong with me. Something wrong with me. That's the basis of the sense of self. Something quite not right with me. So I have to do all these things to feel better, feel right. And of course that can happen because, before that whole illusion just completely collapsed here, at least it did feel better over time. That did happen. There was less suffering in many ways. But the sense of self, is a sense of suffering, unless it's not. Unless it's less as distracted or daydreaming or enjoying something like sports or art or. Okay, I'm going to go in a minute. Got time for one more. Before I go and watch Lost. I've started watching Lost like years later. It's really good. Really silly, but I'm really enjoying it. Getting lost in Lost. Brilliant. Oh, thank you, CDD. And if you can always get in touch with me, anyone, through my website or Facebook or whatever. Feel free to do that. And I will be here same time next week. And thanks everyone for. Thank you. Love you too. Thanks, Joe. Thank you everyone for the amazing questions tonight. Really fantastic. I had such a good time. and see you next week. Lots of love. Bye. Mwah.